The fine notice fluttered in my trembling hand like a flag of surrender, but I'd be damned if I let this HOA break me. I'm a paralyzed ex-firefighter, and my chairlift me lifelinius apparently an eyesore. 2 years ago, I was hauling a kid out of a burning apartment when the floor gave way. Spine shattered, career torched, I came home to Karen Heights, a cookie-cutter suburb where the lawns are greener than the hearts. My wife, Lena, and I scraped together every penny for a chairlift so I could get into our own damn house. It's not pretty clunky metal tracks bolted to the porch steps, but it's my legs now. Then came the letter from Susan Caldwell, HOA president, with her perfect cursive and venomous tone. Unauthorized exterior modification. $500 fine. Remove by next week. I wheeled onto the front lawn that Saturday. The notice crumpled in my fist, and there she was, Susan, in her pressed blazer, flanked by her loyal clipboard-wielding minions. "Mr. Callahan," she said, voice dripping with fake sympathy. "This chairlift violates our aesthetic standards. You didn't submit for approval." Approval? I'd been relearning how to brush my teeth while she was out here policing flowerbed symmetry. "Susan," I said, my voice low but steady, "I'm paralyzed from saving lives. This chairlift isn't optional." The crowd of neighbors gathering behind her shifted uncomfortably. Old Man Jenkins, who'd once called me a hero, avoided my eyes. Mrs. Lopez, whose kid I'd pulled from that fire, clutched her purse like it was a shield. Susan's lips curled into a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Rules are rules, Tom. We all make sacrifices for the community's image." Sacrifices? I wanted to scream. I'd sacrificed my body, my future, my everything. Instead, I held up the fine. "This is your community? Fining a man for needing to get into his house." Her face hardened. "You could have rented an apartment. Single story. Compliant." The crowd gasped, and Lena, who'd been silent by my side, stepped forward, her voice shaking. "You're saying we should have left our home because Tom got hurt serving people like you?" The air crackled with tension. A few neighbors nodded, but other Susan's loyalists crossed their arms, muttering about property values. Then Jake, the neighborhood's self-appointed tough guy, piped up from the back. "He's got a point, Susan. That lift's an eyesore. Makes the street look like a hospital." Lena's eyes flashed. "An eyesore? You think Tom's sacrifice is an eyesore?" She turned to the crowd, her voice rising. "He ran into fires for you, for your kids, and now you're siding with her." Susan raised a hand, cutting through the murmurs. "This isn't personal. It's about standards. If we let one person break the rules, what's next? Neon signs? Junk cars?" I laughed, bitter and loud. "Yeah, Susan, my chairlift's the real threat here, not your obsession with control." The crowd went silent. Even Jake looked uneasy, but Susan wasn't done. She stepped closer, her voice dropping to a hiss. "You think you're special because you're a hero? Heroes don't get exemptions. Pay the fine or we'll lien your house." Lena grabbed my shoulder, her fingers digging in, but I wasn't backing down. "You want to fight? I've faced worse than you in a burning building." I wheeled closer, my chair scraping the grass. "Take your fine and shove it." The neighbors erupted some cheering, others shouting at me to comply. Mrs. Lopez broke ranks, storming up to Susan. "You're disgusting. He's a hero, and you're bullying him." Jake countered, yelling about fairness and rules. The lawn became a battleground, voices clashing like swords. Susan stood firm, her clipboard a scepter, while I sat in my chair, the weight of betrayal heavier than the steel in my spine. Days turned into weeks, and the fight escalated. Susan rallied her HOA board, issuing daily fines. Lena and I fought back, posting flyers about my service, the fire, the chairlift. Neighbors picked sides. Someone egged our house. Another left a casserole on our porch with a note, "Keep fighting." The local news caught wind, and soon Karen Heights was a circus reporters, protest signs, and Susan's smug face on every channel, defending community standards. I hired a lawyer, draining our savings. He found a loophole. The HOA's bylaws didn't explicitly ban accessibility modifications. We filed for an injunction, and the court date loomed like a storm cloud. The night before, Lena sat with me, her eyes red. "Tom, what if we lose the house?" I took her hand, my voice steady despite the fear. "We won't. This is our home. They don't get to take it." The courtroom was packed, neighbors, reporters, even firefighters from my old station. Susan testified first, her voice smooth as glass, painting me as a rule-breaker who'd disrespected the community. My lawyer countered, showing photos of the chairlift, my medals, the scars on my back. Mrs. Lopez took the stand, tears streaming as she told how I'd saved her son. The judge's face was unreadable. When I testified, I didn't hold back. "I didn't choose to be paralyzed," I said, my voice echoing in the quiet room. "But I chose to serve. I chose to save lives. Now I'm fighting to live in my own home, and this HOA Susan wants to punish me for it." The judge ruled in our favor. The chairlift stayed, the fines were voided, and the HOA had to pay our legal fees. The crowd cheered, and Lena hugged me so tight I could barely breathe. But as we left the courthouse, I saw Susan's face, not defeated, but cold, calculating. That night, we found our chairlift vandalized, wires cut, tracks bent. No proof, but I knew. We fixed it, but the damage was done. Neighbors who'd supported us drifted away, tired of the drama. Mrs. Lopez moved out, unable to stomach the tension. Jake smirked every time he passed our house. Lena and I stayed, but the victory felt hollow. Karen Heights wasn't home, Anna Maria was a battlefield, and I was still in the crosshairs. The chairlift hums now, carrying me up those steps, but every creak feels like a warning. Susan's still out there, her clipboard ready, her rules sharper than ever. I'm no hero anymore, just a man trying to live, caught in a war I didn't start. What do you think, who's right in this mess? Is it about rules or is it about heart?